I really wonder if Aiku is gonna stick on one end, but I don't think he will.
Yeah. He did. The serve. Yeah, he has a 200 now. 200 sword. He's just doing the dramatic wait. Oh, yeah, there we go. He waited for the camera to get on him.
It's mental preparation, Greed.
Yeah. Take a minute.
He's using a great sword. Maximou is using the... forgot how it's called. The thing.
Hand and a half?
No, that's not a hand and a half sword.
Sorry, I just randomly threw a name out there.
What
has begun
what
though.
was that, Greed? It's not a bastard sword.
Aiku taking the first hit.
Finals have started, okay? Aiku taking the first and second hit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see Maximou punish Aiku a lot more than Aiku's been punished by any of these other players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Aiku's gonna have difficulty punishing Maximou, I feel, because just in general, Maximou's feints are... They can be difficult to punish if you don't know exactly how. That's a really good chamber by Aiku.
That was
I think he's
smooth,
gonna try to do that more.
Oh, he got stuck in a wall though. Don't get to taking the first 160 points.
No.
Which changed up the format for the finals. First to 160.
Yeah, remember when we said it was gonna take 3 hours?
It will. My god, we will make it work.
Uh-huh.
I can now. Going to... Oh, pretty good attack there.
So I'm hoping to see Aiku do more of the chambers we saw in that last fight, because that put it's like one of those chambers that has a good chance to work.
Keeps pushing
and he
himself
seems to
in
be
there,
doing it on the double right hit that Maximou does. So watch out for that. Whenever Maximou goes for the second right hit, you might see chambers. And Maximou seems to do this a lot as well. There's like
yeah.
He does the soft spot thrust, like if you do a soft spot with the thrust on someone, and that's actually the same on native. And during the first couple of frames of the thrust, you cancel your hit and order a new one.
Yeah,
you don't get stunned on the soft spot.
I hate that
and
trick.
Maximou's using that on people a lot, I see, and I think in this match that's gonna make a lot bigger difference than it has in the other matches he's played.
Oh, that was so much damage there.
Yeah.
Aiku trying to punish it, but not that much, and yeah, just slashes him down.
I think just the problem Aiku's dealing with is that he seems to be too hell bent on playing his style.
Yeah.
And since both Maximou and Aiku play quite aggressive, it's like it just doesn't seem to be working for him. I feel like he should pick his moments a little bit better against Maximou, because clearly Maximou's countering his aggression better than Aiku is countering Maximou's aggression. So he wants to look for chambers and spams, but not all the time, because that makes it predictable.
That was a heavy soft spot there. Even did almost as much as his pure hit. Wow.
Yeah.
Keeps spinning around so much, it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, I don't know why he does the spins, to be honest. It doesn't seem to work too well.
3 soft spots so far hit in Aiku.
Yeah, you can see Maximou's looking for the soft
spot
trick, like where he tries to abuse the frame skips of that move.
Ooh. So I guess we've done it 2 health. Aiku is pretty healthy so far. A solid soft spot should kill him.
Like you can see that Maximou does like these half kind of holds, where it's not like a mini hold, but also not really a long hold, and he like waves his screen around in a way. If you do that correctly, you can make it look like you're releasing your hit when you actually don't.
Yeah.
Which is why people often have a difficulty blocking it, but that's there. Maximou just tries to go too aggressive, I guess.
Getting massively punished for it too.
That's more a mental thing, I want to say, where people once they get on like super low HP, they start playing differently. Whereas I feel like very often you just have a better chance if you try to play just the way you have been, because that's been working fine for Maximou, you know. But yeah, if he starts playing scared and giving up some of his style, that's when it becomes interesting for Aiku especially. Again, Maximou going for the soft spot tricks, but Aiku's ready for it now, so that's good to see. Ooh, that was a really close kick.
That was so close. Oh, definitely a worthy kick there. HP
Yeah,
wise.
you see, Maximou is now trying
Ooh.
to. Maximou is basically overusing the soft spot thing now.
Yeah.
Which means it doesn't work on Aiku that well anymore. Sometimes you can still put pressure with it, but from the way that Aiku is playing, I don't really feel like he's being pressured by it too much. Oftentimes you'll see, like, when the soft spot thing happens, the person who gets soft spot will try to hit back at that moment. And if they start like frantically canceling their hits, then that's usually when you can notice they're under pressure. But
Yeah.
it seems to be fine in the right now.
Yeah, it's quite even.
And he seems to be dealing with Maximou's feints quite well in general, so that's nice to see. Oh, that spam was so close to working as well. I don't know if he hit the wall or something.
It sounded like it, maybe, yeah.
Nice chamber again
that
by
was,
Aiku.
Yeah, that was smooth. This chambers, man.
Aiku's got this.
Oh, he got trapped in a soft spot there.
It's one of the ways that you can counter or try to counter the right hand spam that Maximou does, like the double right hit. You can try to do a chamber, like the really fast chamber on the second hit. If Maximou has the wrong footwork, it's possible that that chamber becomes unblockable. But it's quite rare to see, but it's always worth a try.
Yep.
And it definitely puts pressure on Maximou to, well, have his shit together, so to speak.
It is now even out a little bit too. Maximou is still 3-2 up, but
yeah, Aiku is adapting well.
Yeah, he's
he was
adapted
falling
really
for the feint spams and the soft spots a lot
that
before.
was a massive stab though.
Whew, that's about as much that you can get out of a thrust as you could hope for in duels here.
With this armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Just
and Aiku just like that's where you can notice pressure. That's where you can notice the pressure, because you can see that he moved his screen so much to block that last feint, and that's something Maximou will probably hopefully notice when people react like that by making exaggerated screen movements or canceling and blocking like in a weird kind of sequence or rhythm. You can often notice pressure from that. Like here you see Aiku switching his blocks a lot. That's when you can notice pressure.
Yeah.
And you can see that he's having that a lot of the time as well.
Ooh. That could have been really fancy move there, but
yeah, I think Maximou's just trying to throw Aiku off for the most part. I feel like Aiku should try to play his own game more than anything. He's capable of beating Maximou. He just should pick his moments better. Like sometimes he just does random spams. At least the way that's how I see it. He just does a random spam, and it really doesn't do anything for him.
Massive damage. That must have hurt.
And there's the spam.
Yeah, there's the spam.
And there you can see pressure again, because Aiku was in the sequence of trying to do a chamber, whereas Maximou was doing a spam, and that completely ruins your timing. Like the thing I talked about where Maximou does a double right hit spam, and Aiku tries to chamber the second hit, his orientation was completely off there for that hit when he got hit there. Maximou's gonna notice that.
Yeah.
I feel like Aiku still doesn't do enough in countering Maximou's movement. Like I think that's one of the main things that I see here. It's kind of like his turn and then it's Maximou's turn again. But Maximou actually tries to counter some of Aiku's turns as well.
Taking most of my concentration just chasing their left foot movements. A nice attack there.
Yeah,
but Aiku is very low.
I've been looking from Aiku's perspective for a little bit, and like a lot of his screen movement and footwork are kind of getting like they're staying the same right now, which is fine if you don't start dying because of fatigue or something. And that's the chamber I talked about. If you do that chamber correctly, it's so difficult to block.
Yeah, it is.
Because you need to pre-block that chamber basically if you want to block it. So you really need to know what's coming.
Yeah.
And there again.
Again, the pressure.
Maximou sees Aiku slightly moves his screen improperly, cancels his hit, goes for a second left hit. Aiku doesn't expect it, moves his screen way too much to the side, gets hit.
Yep.
And that's just because Aiku's a little bit too focused on doing his like. Yes, I want him to play his game, but at the same time, I want him to counter Maximou's move.
Yeah.
And if you start focusing on your own game too much, you're gonna get caught off if
Oh.
Maximou suddenly throws a new move at you. You know.
First kick. Aiku is down to half health. Keep going towards the walls here. They didn't technically utilize the arena to their full limit there, but this does look very dramatic.
I think the walls are an interesting place to fight.
Yeah, that's true.
But mainly footwork wise.
Yeah.
Because Aiku did use it before once.
That's true. Yeah, it really worked out. He did save also lucky, but I prefer thinking of it as skill.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when the player himself said it was lucky, right?
Yeah, but what do they know?
That's when you know it was skill. Yeah, okay. This makes sense.
He's just humble. Aiku is very low here. He cannot mess up. Potentially the last round.
It seems like Aiku's kind of lost his flair a little bit because he's doing the same moves over and over and again. Like I see him doing the left into right hit all the time and like the quick left hits. At some point, Maximou just figured it out, you know.
Yep. 7-2. Final score. Maximou wins.
Let me just fill that in. 7-2. So it's time for the third place match.